You pointed out some Republicans see the president's failure as their responsibility. It's a remarkable thing. What do you make of the Republican scorn for this president?
I don't know. I've never seen anything like it. I haven't seen anything like it. I guess the closest I've seen since my service in Congress was in a very irresponsible way when the House impeached President Clinton, because he was an effective president. This is an effective president. And not only that, he has the power of being a largely nonpartisan president. If the Democrats had any complaint about the president, it's that he's not complaining about the do-nothing Republican president, do-nothing Republican Congress. You know that. That's one of the major complaints. But that's not who he is. He's more, that's not what he brought to the White House.
It seems to be personal. Why is that?
You know why it is. You know why it is. He's brilliant. He has a vision for our country. He's brilliant, has knowledge of the issues and judgment about what the right path would be, respectful of other people's views. He thinks in a strategic way on how to get something done and sustain an initiative by having as much support for it as possible. And he's completely eloquent to convey a message to the American people. That's a package that they don't like. He's effective. Anyone who's effective. Look at me, I'm effective, I'm a target, but I'm not the president, so it doesn't matter. But in my small way, I became a target because I was getting a job done. They know that he can take this country to a place that is not only about survival for people, which is where he pulled us out from, not only about success for many more people, but transformative in terms of the opportunity for entrepreneurial thinking and many more young people involved in how we lift people up rather than being wedded to the status quo.
Do you think race is a piece of it?
You'd have to ask them. You'd have to ask them.
But what do you detect? What do you think?
Well, I think that I've noticed when President Clinton was president that the Republicans were going to go after him. I mean, the minute he was elected, it wasn't even until inauguration, because they didn't think he was one of them. He wasn't one of them. And maybe they just think that this president, as with President Clinton, because of his upbringing and his personal story of success and the rest, although he had the Ivy League and the Georgetown and Ivy League education, he wasn't rooted where most of the former presidents came from.
So it's like with President Clinton, it was like a class thing, or what are you saying?
Yeah, I mean, it was how could he have defeated President Bush? And I love President George Herbert Walker Bush. There's nothing negative about him. But I could see in the attitude, the condescension that they had, and what manifestation did they make of it? Impeachment. Impeachment.